Okay.
What the f*** are you doing?
I want Sean to do the intro.
I don't know what we're doing! Welcome back to another episode of How to Kill Your Dragon. This is a series on we find young people and we take them to our basement and murder them. Now, this is an experiment. This is an experience that experiment that we've been trying to do for quite a while now to see if children are actually important to society.
Are they? What's the results?
So here's the results is that parents actually do worry when their children go missing, and it's actually quite insane. And I just never understood that. Like, why are you panicking that your kid is dying?
That's crazy. Because in the original test, I was the one who said, yeah, I think the parents would care. You said that they wouldn't, and
yeah,
turns out
I don't get, bro. My three children I had when I was 13 went missing 5 years ago. I don't give a.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And so that's basically what. Yeah.
I know what you're trying to transition to, and that was so shit.
What are we talking about?
I already said it was whack. You don't have to tell me it was whack.
I don't know what we're doing.
I'm gonna
man.
Sean, you're still in the dark.
Just explain to him, Mufo.
We're doing Reddit, bro.
Oh. And each of these stories have basically people on the both sides that, of the argument that kind of have a point. Say the first one. Am I the asshole? Can you say?
Sorry.
Am I the asshole for touching 3 people
who did nothing wrong? You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong.
Thank you.
That was a terrible Reddit. I'm not lying to you.
That was not a real one.
That wasn't a real one. That was just me.
Okay.
That was me. Terrible. That was me confessing to the fact that I have arrested 3 people when I was 13.
Okay. Next one. I don't mind reading it.
You can't read, Mustafa. You're illiterate. Man.
That's so sweet of you to ask, but you're illiterate.
You're illiterate, bro. Like
illiterate.
I literally,
so nice of you.
I tried to bring you Peppa the Pig books, and you couldn't read those shits, bro.
I'll let you read it. I'll send it to you.
Okay. I don't need to read all of them. I just want to read one.
No, just one.
Okay.
In what world do people believe that God is not real?
I'll send it to your chat.
Not real, why are 13 people dying every second?
Am I the asshole for not wanting my wife's daughter to be introduced as a family friend? A few years ago, my wife and I got a letter from a woman claiming to be my wife's daughter, Laurel, who wanted to meet with her. She told me that she'd given up a child for adoption when she was young, so I was expecting this to happen. This might happen. What I didn't expect was that the truth was there was never an adoption. She just left the baby with her father and Bill. The worst thing about this is that I don't understand. Wait, okay, read it, man. I'm not.
Hey, send me the link.
You try.
You read it.
Go through the motions, bro.
I want to see you try.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting my wife's daughter to be introduced as a family friend? A few years ago, my wife and I got a letter from a woman claiming to be my wife's daughter, Laurel. Yeah, you gotta read the Shanghai.
Oh my god, bro. Largest text I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, am I the asshole for not wanting my wife's daughter to be introduced as a family friend? So a few years ago, my wife and I got a letter from a woman claiming to be my wife's daughter, Laurel, who wanted to meet with her. She told me that she'd given up adoption when she was young, so I was expecting this might happen. What I didn't expect was the truth was that... Ooh. Someone else read it. I'm kidding. So, a few years ago, my wife and I got a letter from a woman claiming to be my wife's daughter, Laurel, who wanted to meet with her. She told me that she'd given up adoption when she was young, so I was expecting this might happen. What I didn't expect was the truth was that there was never any adoption. She just left the baby with the father and bailed. The worst thing about this is that when Laura was 12, she wrote my wife begging for help. Her response was to write the nastiest reply imaginable. I've since had the chance to read it. That basically blamed her for her problems and threatened her against contacting her again and ruining her family. I couldn't believe it. Not only has she been lying this whole time, but she actively had contact and chose to abandon her a second time while she was married. Remember when I said everybody had a point to their side? I don't think that.
I think
now that I'm rereading this, I don't think there's.
Finish the story because I have many points.
I couldn't believe it. Not only has she been lying this whole time, but she actively had contact and chose to abandon her a second time while we were married. This has all been an emotional dumpster fire, but that's an issue of its own. We've been in contact and building a relationship for the past few years. So far, we've kept this all away from our kids. At this point, it's been a few years, and there's interest in having everybody meet. Thing is, between my wife and Laurel, they've come to an arrangement to tell the kids and everybody else in the family that Laurel is just a family friend. Absolutely not. I'm sick of the lying. What they call each other is their own deal, but I don't expect to change that. But I'm not lying anymore. I don't like lying to my kids as a policy, but lying to them about who's related to them and who isn't is dangerous. I only want them meeting if we can tell the truth. Now that I'm getting into it with my wife Laurel and my parents, the only outside people who know, they all say that I should go along with it, if not for my wife's sake, but for Laurel's. I understand why she would want that, but I don't think I care anymore. The kids need to know. The children need to know. The kids need to know. They need to know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, husband, that kid, to be honest. That's what I've been saying since day one. Oh
my God.
What?
We found a parent who's okay with abandoning their child.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
I'm also very okay with it. That you should have never talked to me ever again. Come on. I abandoned you for a reason. I don't want to see your goddamn face ever again. Come on.
Let's get it straight. I don't want to see your ass. Come on.
Now, okay.
Am I understanding the story? I don't know if I am. I don't know if I am. Okay, so wife, right? A wife of OP, abandoned child.
Yeah, when she was a kid.
At 12 years old, that child asked for help. She writes her a mean letter saying, "I don't want you. I don't want anything to do with you. You're my problems." Right? And then now she comes back into life as a family friend.
No, so basically what happened was that you're correct, right? So she, up until the point where she wrote the nasty letter, you are correct, right? But this time, the letter that she sent also reached the husband, which the husband didn't know about the previous letter she sent, right? And now that they're talking, and she's like, I want to introduce her as a family friend, not as a daughter. And the husband's like, nah, we ain't doing that shit. She's gonna be announced as your daughter.
What the fuck is happening?
And I completely agree. That shouldn't have ever came back.
Better hide your food. White people.
Again, the question is, bro, how can your wife be on such bullshit, bro? To be like, yeah, she's not coming in unless we can come up with the Hannah Montana situation for her. And
jokes aside, without me saying, yes, I think the wife is on some drug type shit right now, right? She's on some drugs.
She's smoking some.
I think, right? I don't want the husband to come out and say that she's not a family friend if it makes the daughter feel uncomfortable, right? That just benefits him, right? He has to talk to at least one of them, not the wife, because the wife is going to continuously say, well, yeah, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be like that, right? He needs to talk.
If anybody, somebody should sit down with he needs to fully sit down with his wife and be like, hey, I know this is your kid. I know this is your kid, but you have to understand you have not taken responsibility for this child ever.
Yeah, okay.
So you don't get to dictate how this person comes across to our children. You know what I mean? Yeah, if I'm not okay with it, then it's like
it's not even a situation of like if anyone I just want this kid to be comfortable. That's the only thing that matters in this situation, right?
Totally. But if the person, sorry, I'm peeking. I'm tweaking. But if the person literally, yeah, you're right. Ask the person, of course. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter how the person, if they say, "Oh, I don't mind" or "I don't care," it's not about that. It's about clearly this person just wants stability. Clearly, either something happened to the dad, or they're in trouble, and maybe the dad wasn't off well financially, right?
Exactly. And there were kids at that point.
This person just needs either a place to stay, some money from their freaking parent. Like, that's a normal thing to ask, and that's a normal thing that they should be entitled to, especially having been called nasty things in the past and just been abandoned as for their entire life. you're right, Sean, in the sense that this person gets to dictate how they come across in the new family, but also the dad, the father, if he has qualms with being like, I don't want my children being lied to, then that's his boundary.
Yeah, I think the husband at the end, he just needs to sit down with all, like, just him, the daughter, and the wife, and just needs to sit down and talk, right? That's all they need to do, right? I just don't want him to make any hasty decisions.
Anyways, the next one is, I broke up with my fiance because she asked me to settle down after marriage. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do remember this one. This one, yeah, technically has both takes, but yeah. Let me just read it. I, 27 male, was in a relationship with my girlfriend, 27 female, for 5 years, and we got engaged a few months ago. To provide some background, I work a job which requires frequent travel to different states, and I love it because I love traveling to different states. I can also choose not to travel and work in my same state, but I don't want that. As my career progresses, I actually expect to travel a lot more. My girlfriend had no issues with it and actually encouraged it. After we fixed the wedding day, planned out the wedding, and sent out our wedding invitations to everybody, my girlfriend started to ask if it was possible that I could not travel as frequently after marriage. This came to a surprise to me because she never brought it up before. We've had serious discussions over it, but I realized after just a couple of weeks of discussions that I didn't want to compromise on my lifestyle. I didn't want to drag it out any further, so I broke up with her. This came as a big shock to my girlfriend, so she started walking back on the discussions we had, saying I could travel as much as I wanted, but I realized that my girlfriend and I just weren't compatible, so I called off the wedding and I let everybody know. This came to a big shock to my parents because they really liked her and we had such a great relationship. Was I in the wrong for breaking up with her?
No, he's not.
He's not. I must have missed something.
He broke up with her because he wants to pursue his own dreams, and she wasn't letting him do so. He did backtrack at some point, but after that, he just realized that it just isn't the lifestyle he wanted, or like they're just not compatible, and she doesn't fit the lifestyle that he wants to lead. Right? She's not in the wrong. Definitely not in the wrong for asking him to stay, because they are getting married, and marriage does lead to other things like children and a family. Right? So making her take care of the house on her own and potentially having a future of kids, would he stop traveling for work? And if he doesn't,
if there's ever a time to back out, right now is the perfect time. Like for him, especially since he was literally about to get married. Right now is the perfect time, because if he did it any later, he would have had to divorce and stuff like that. It would have been a lot of work.
Well, no, it's not even about the work, right? You just gotta picture.
No, I know.
As a couple, they were perfectly fine, because when they were dating, there was so much less responsibilities on just them as a couple. They were just dating, right? And so he could travel all she wanted, and she didn't mind because they weren't married. But when they get married, he is expected to be at home for like a long period of time, if he has the availability to, which he does. He literally said in his post, he has the resources to stay home. He could not travel if he didn't want to. But he realized that he just likes to, well, he don't realize, but he just knows he likes to travel, and he understands that, like, oh, if I marry this person, at some point, I won't be able to travel.
I will be honest. Now that I backed away from my original statement, like I'm looking at it now. I'm like, if there's not anything specifically detrimental that either the girl or her, like, I don't know, spending habits or something like that, because he's talking about travel, right? And he's saying I can't travel. You know, if there's not anything specific that the girl has done to lower the guy's quality of life for travel, I guess he's in the wrong. I'm gonna be honest. If there's nothing detrimental that she has done to stop him from pursuing his dreams, then he's in the wrong.
No, totally. The only thing is that I feel like the guy is kind of smoking some reefer if he thinks that there might be a person he finds that actually is totally down with that. He might find someone who's actually down to be on, like, to be traveling that frequently, right? But the thing is that I feel like it's totally normal for a person to be like, hey, we just got married, can we tone it down even just for a little while, like that? And like maybe that person did mean, hey, for the foreseeable future, I don't want to be traveling, right? Or they might meant forever, but like I feel like maybe that person was just looking for a compromise. Like, hey, like maybe she literally spent 5 years doing what you wanted, and you wouldn't even spend like a year doing what she wanted. It's kind of, it seems like that person might have problems in the future with other relationships, no matter what. It might come in a different direction. Like maybe he means, like it's not about travel, it's about money and finance and how that will be spent. And then, like no one is going to be 100% down with what you want, and that's when you compromise. So what is the verdict, Joe?
He's not the asshole for wanting to do so.
He's an asshole.
Not the asshole.
He's not the asshole. He's not the asshole for wanting to do
he's
so.
The asshole. He's asshole.
He's not the asshole for wanting to do so, but he is the asshole if he does it by himself. That's my verdict.
Gadget giving us both sides of Reddit.
No, Gadget, I do believe that one was really 50-50, right?
It kind of is. Like, if you look at it from the mom side, the mom is on some tweaking stuff. But if you look at it from Yanni and Laurel's side, if the dad is like, I don't want my kids being lied to, and then Laurel's like, I just want a home.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the asshole if he does it without talking to anyone, but he's not the asshole for wanting to say it.
My thing is, the only person who gets to say nothing is the mom. The wife.
Yeah.
You don't get to say anything. This is between me and Yanni.
She gets, you know what she gets to do? She gets to say her part in divorce court. That's what she gets to say. Right?
It's crazy how he's still with her after that. That's the stuff that usually...
They have kids, right?
That's the thing that usually,
She abandoned her child. I wouldn't feel safe with her.
Right? I wouldn't feel safe with someone like that. Especially, hopefully, whatever. It's not my business. All he did was put it on the internet for everybody to judge. It's not my business.
Yeah, it's not my business. Just keep it on Reddit, bro.